So, Kan, today's race is a little something special, huh?
Yeah, it's a little different. I've never been up here before. This is a weird spot.
Yep, this is Steve's garage. Don't be mean to Steve's garage.
Is it actually called Steve's garage?
It is. It says above the door.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it is Steve's garage.
It's Steve's garage,
wow.
and the slug lives within Steve's garage. Got the handbrake on the slug. And then
a wonderful brick of concrete.
Yes, a concrete brick that has traction motors. That's literally what it is. I'll have to dig out pictures from my BNSF time. We had two that worked out of my shop that were literally, just a slug.
Were slugs for road stuff or just for shunting stuff?
Almost entirely for shunting stuff. There were some that were over the road too, but more common for shunting because they're really good at the low speed, high amperage stuff. You can put the engine in really high power from the get-go, and it'll just pull the universe because you're distributing the current from one alternator or generator from the locomotive across double the amount of traction motors now. So huge parallel circuits and all that. Really, really good for crazy traction. So.
All right, so we're racing to the coal mine.
Yeah, we're at this bottom right corner little spur here, down at the bottom right. We're gonna try and run all the way up to the coal mines. We got two crazy downhill sections. The one that we're on to start, the big start of this, and then the one down to the coal mine itself. And we've purposely given ourselves just a DE2 and some fun loads of nuclear and then alcohol, a good combination.
Nuclear waste and alcohol.
Yep.
So great combo. It's a perfect Saturday evening. It's some nuclear waste
and some alcohol. Dude, that's how I like to party.
That's fine.
And the DE2 with no dynamic brakes on the wrong end from the slug, which is very heavy, down the steepest downhill grade in the map.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Here's the thing. We are going to be allowed to hook our DE2 up to our slug if we want.
Right.
But obviously you have to find a switch to do that. And if you do hook your DE2 up to the slug, you get your DE2 from the front of the train to the back of the train.
I see it comes
you're going to have the slug power along with your DE2 power. So it's going to make a big difference.
You'll actually be able to pull this because it's about 300 tons all said and done, which is going to be a lot for the DE2 uphill. But DE2 and the slug, that's a cakewalk.
Is it 300 tons with the slug or without the slug?
With the slug.
Yeah, okay, because the slug's 125 tons.
Oh, my air brakes are on.
Yeah, and then each tank car is about 23 tons.
Okay, I think I'm set up for the race.
The nuclear waste. But let's get the show on the road, man.
Yeah, we're going to the coal mine.
I'm standing at the handbrake of this slug with my DE2 turned off.
Oh yeah, I'm at the same thing. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Here we go. Pow, handbrake's off.
Slug is off. Oh god, it's not rolling. It was rolling last time.
It did roll. It tried to roll away. Breakers.
Okay, never mind. Now mine's rolling. Brakes all the way off. Brakes all the way off.
Motor in full beans. Oh yeah, notch 11, go to heaven.
No, that's gonna pull the engine in like the first 10 seconds.
I mean, I got my traction motors up to about 119 degrees.
No, I mean amperage. I went like over 1,000 amps right off the bat.
Oh yeah, no, I did too. And I got the temperature up to 119 before I shut off. So.
So will you can blow an engine on amperage alone without the temp, or is it only temp?
The temp is the only thing that'll blow it. You can run the amperage all the way up, but that very
stuff's like brakes or something.
So.
I think
that's all. It just spikes the brakes.
Yeah. Okay. And
so
here's the one. The one. So it's 10 kilometers an hour downhill, associated with a 3.5% grade. I guess I should squeeze some air on.
Okay. All my brakes are on.
This is just the crookedest, squiggliest little track.
Yeah, I don't want to go much faster. This is gonna be an interesting race.
We're gonna have to see how you do.
Here, but like. I've also never really driven with a slug before, so I don't know.
Right now, it's just a really heavy train car, so don't worry about it too much.
Yeah. I've also never really driven with... So, okay, so slug, it's got... It doesn't have a brake compressor or anything like that on it?
Nope, it is a concrete block with traction motors. The one in Derail Valley doesn't have dynamic brake grids. The ones that I worked with did, so that you could run them in dynamic braking as well, but not the one in Derail Valley.
Is this a heavy load?
Dude, I just hear a constant brake squeal. Like, it's...
Pretty much.
My brakes are gonna be, like, red hot.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to mitigate. I'm cycle braking right now, so I'm
brake hard and then don't brake and then brake hard.
Yeah, I don't know if that's better than just a light brake or not, but at least you're cooling the shoes some? Question mark?
Yeah, I've been on a light brake for about 15 down this hill. Now I let off the brake.
It was
Been doing 15,
didn't
I've
quite
been
get
doing
it all
about 20
out.
the whole time.
Yeah, now I'm doing 20. Seems like it picks up a little bit here.
It definitely does. I'm almost, I'm on the big sweeping left-hander before the tunnel, so I'm coming up to that tunnel now. I don't know.
Oh, I see the tunnel.
Grab the independent. Be an idiot.
Kick off the air. The steepest hill is after the tunnel down the bridge. That's the really scary
It
thing.
says like
Okay,
5%
catch
or
it.
something.
I think so. It's ridiculous. That's where I came off at the very end when I grabbed the slug originally in my career playthrough. So,
Okay, so they're well ahead.
This turn is so steep.
dude, it's
Train's
ridiculous.
just like shaking going around it.
It's fine. I love this track. I wish there were more tracks like this in the valley that you actually had to run tonnage over, because it would be so much fun to just really precision train handle through there.
You guys ever had a wheel skip off a train, like only a single wheel? Does that happen where it skips off the rail? Leading trucks or something, or? I'm assuming not at the museum. 'Cause
Technically at the museum I have once actually. 491, our big engine. She didn't like the fact that the track was not ballasted very well when we started running her. And ballasted, well, a track that's basically ballasted with river rock and dirt is not in place whatsoever.
That's the Con was talking about.
And so she put the track where she wanted. She actually moved it 6 feet on center.
Let it off all
Remember,
the way,
it's 3
actually.
foot track, so she moved it to the track that it's over. Oh god, it's a 5.5% grade.
Let's get some speed in
It's
there.
fine. It's fine. But it's a 50 mile an hour speed limit, so yeah, send it, dude. I'm actually gonna power into this because I mean, it honest to God is a 50. So I'm gonna get a little speed up first, but I know that I'm gonna have to hit the brakes pretty hard shortly thereafter. Yeah, she moved the track 6 feet on center, which was just ridiculous. And it caused a bit of an issue where the suspension ran out of travel as she was trying to go on the turn. We knew that it was turning into a kink, and it's like, man, it's feeling a little weird.
How does that? I don't understand how that works. How does the suspension
Try to keep it below 30.
Yeah, so the suspension's all connected in the wheels, and everything was trying to move so far, each wheel set, that it came up hard. It ran out of space to move.
It doesn't have lateral travel.
There we caught it.
So like,
Yeah, but as the wheel sets move laterally, it does affect the suspension because there's
the
centering
bridge over
devices
to
in
the
play and all that.
harbor.
right, the wheels
To
are
the harbor.
constant radius. It changes.
Right. And so she ended up running out of travel and all her suspension, and she picked up her inside pilot wheel, the number one, the first axle,
Okay, 50 here.
not driven, but the lead truck wheel. She picked it up and took it about a foot off the railhead because she was trying to go through the curve so hard, and it was just like, oh my god. I've never seen the color drain out of somebody's face faster than the guy who was watching us go through the turn. Like, hey, check this. And we
Hyce is
walked
heading up the
really
hill.
slow, like walking pace through it, and she just absolutely like picked it up. He's like, stop! We stopped
How did
and
you get it back on the? How did you get it back on the track?
just slowly started moving it forward, and she set it back down.
Which is very
And luckily, she set it back down on the rail.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was, yeah, I've had that, but that's the only time I've had something like that. So.
All right, I just made it through the switch at the harbor.
Just
I
let you go far over the
am
hill
trying to
or
blow up my traction motors
Gonna
a little
wanna-
bit past that on the hill.
I'm gonna chuck my
I've got my traction motors are living at about 112 degrees maybe right now.
That is unfortunate. Oh, someone commented in the last video that apparently our videos were out of sync last time, but I don't know how that
We
happened.
don't edit them separately.
Right.
Hint
The
for
intro
getting
might be
video
different, but if you
is
sync up
one
on
of
the
them.
3-2-1, it should be fine.
because it's close enough.
Yeah, are you doing any weird
So I'm gonna put
like
the slug there.
frame rate changes throughout your video or something?
I'm
It's
gonna
like-
put the
I
slug.
didn't change anything. I literally just let it run
Now
as it
I
did.
am using this weird
yeah,
mod,
that's what I
but
thought too.
I don't think
but,
it should
like,
help me that
apparently it's
much.
almost anyway. All right, well,
Strange.
that's what I thought. I thought if you sync it on the 3-2-1, everything's all good to go.
Should be. It makes sense to
Yeah.
me, but I don't know if we're
So
gonna
I'm
make
just
it up
gonna
to
push back
Silicon.
a bit.
Well, you know, you're doing the stupid and I'm doing the smart, so
What are you
Alright.
doing?
Slug's
I'm
brakes are
backing
on.
into the harbor and I'm gonna hook up my slug to my.
Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah, Yeah.
You're being smart, and I'm just trying it.
I was like, there's no way I'm gonna try this all the way to Pullman. So I'm backing into the harbor, so I have lots of tracks to run around, and I'm gonna hook my slug up to my DE2, and I'm gonna put it on the front of my train so I can see where I'm going, and then boom, done. We're gonna put it in notch 8.
Well, that would be smart, he says,
Well,
watching the
obviously
temperature
Well, I
gauge
figured
climb.
I figured you were just gonna send it, and I'm like, I don't trust the DE2 to pull like my car out of the ditch. So like it does not pull.
That's pretty reasonable, if I'm honest.
It's like the worst locomotive. It just the DE2's like, oh, you want me to pull 2 cars? Great.
It's
Have you ever
best
heard of
locomotive
it?
car.
What's this thing that happens?
It is this thing that happens. Hey man, I'm making it at 14 km/h right now. We're gonna have a tortoise in the hare situation shortly.
That's fine.
here.
I don't. There's more hills coming up that get pretty bad, right? Like past that Y that you're going up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't run this track that often. I know that above the goods factory, there's that last hill
enough
past
to
the
get
bridge that's
past?
pretty bad. But I
Yeah.
don't
No, but
know
we can
if
get
that's
it
the
again.
worst or not. Oh goodness.
Do a weird
I
off-center
am
shove.
Yeah, I'm
really
just gonna
losing
go grab
it
my
now.
slug. Does it matter if my slug's on the front of my DE2?
It does not. You just have to MU it.
You have to MU it. Okay.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna basically run my DE2 with a really long nose slug in front of it.
That is probably
Put
easier
the
to
motors
switch
this
out.
way.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to switch out. And then,
Oh yeah, it is. We are dying in this tunnel right now.
I don't want to shove my whole train though, because that just sucks. Like
That is the closest I've ever gotten to absolute spice on the traction motor. Like there was not daylight between the needle and 120. And we have stalled out. All right.
If you
Okay, I can
damage
get
your
past
traction
that.
motor, right? It loses pulling power now from permanently, doesn't it?
If you blow up the traction motor, it depends. It seems sometimes you blow up a motor and sometimes you don't. So it's interesting. I'm all stopped in the tunnel partway through.
So I don't want to
I'm
be
gonna
much
try and let it
this.
cool off and then go again. Yeah, otherwise I'm gonna have to back up to the harbor. I mean, goodness, I've only made it
just like
about
notch one.
a quarter of the way to the next switch. So unless it levels off.
Khan's got the strategy this time, guys. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to give it away, but like
The Khan's doing a weird
thing.
I knew you were gonna send it, so I'm like, I'm just gonna not send it because I'm assuming this thing won't make it. And
It turns out that you were smarter in planning on this than I was. That's why you wanted the extra car. I see. You wanted to add the nuclear waste so that we'd have an extra car. I see how it is.
I've just never driven with nuclear waste before. I thought it would be exciting.
Well,
If I'm gonna
it's
bid it, I might as well kill the entire population while I'm at it, right? Like,
right. That's reasonable.
See, it's so heavy. I'm struggling.
Okay, well I put it in forwards and sand and amp. Oh yeah, okay. We're not capable of running forwards. So. Looks like Khan's gonna be ahead of me here, everybody. We're gonna run this
don't
thing
worry, I
backwards
still have
real
plenty
quick.
of time to bin it.
So we
Plenty
actually
of
don't.
time. Now we don't have an actual mission here because we just made this up. So
Right.
we're just park it in whatever coal mine track I guess you want.
Right. Park it at the coal mine and then
Got to do the
say
brake
when you
first.
park it at the coal mine.
Okay.
Do that.
I guess, yeah. Oh man, I'm excited. Now now I feel my palms sweat.
Dude, you've got the chance. This is your
I've got
shot,
a chance.
Khan.
This is my shot, yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
another
there's a
pretty
song
good
that
clip.
talks
I
about
might
this. It's
actually
like,
just
you
put a new
know,
brake
you got
on.
one shot. Do not miss your chance.
Okay.
This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
The speed is pretty fast on this alignment, so I'm gonna be cheeky, and we're gonna do some really dumb high-speed switching. Because I mean, what else?
Are you gonna like Dutch drop?
I'm
Can I switch
bottling
now?
the air, and I'm gonna just kick the slug.
I don't know how
I'm just
realistic
gonna
that
let it
is.
just go. Goodbye, my friends.
So if the slug has been
The
hit
slug,
there,
I've kicked
I
the
would've
slug. It's gonna
fucked
go
up.
back down the other way, and then I'm gonna drop the train separately from my engine. I'm uncoupling all of this on the fly
in the
right
harbor,
now.
you're gonna put the slug back on the path that it came down, and then
Yep.
that Y.
Oh, that's what I'm doing, huh?
Yeah, so you might save
But
some time on me.
I'm
I'm
not as-
switching in the harbor. I thought about doing a Dutch drop. I've done a few before in my own time just for, fun in career
This
mode
is-
where you just bottle the air. But I was thinking in a high pressure situation, I should just have myself deciding.
That would probably be smarter than what I'm doing. Actually, that's not even probably smarter than what I'm doing. That's absolutely smarter.
Well, the only risk
Alright,
you
let's
run
go
into is if you
stop that.
accidentally like drop your air pressure too early, and then your Dutch drop loses its power. Then you got to go repressurize it somehow with the vehicle, and it just sucks.
Right. Yeah, a failed Dutch drop is a very sad thing.
Yeah.
I have no idea how fast this slug is going right now, but I'm coming up to the switch almost. Oh god, it's gonna min it right here. Okay, I'm gonna give it a little air, a little break.
No, this doesn't matter because the slug doesn't even touch properly.
Alright, I gotta grab my slug. This is the longest, I picked the longest siding to...
No, that's too
please
spicy.
Don't stop, please don't stop, please don't stop. Please don't stop right there, no! No! No!
Well, I'm just doing what I'm doing.
It's,
Did it not make it? Remember that thing we were just talking about?
Yeah, I just pulsed the brake valve real cute-like, and then it was fine. Nothing blew up yet, surprisingly. Where is my DE2? There it is. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. I have 4 cars or 5 cars in the dirt on their sides, Kan. One of the tank cars.
Is this a reload for Heist?
Two of the tank cars are enjoying drinking the water.
Didn't do the switch.
I want to just reload your autosave.
You know what? I'm gonna. How much money do I have? I have $9,000. I probably can't pay to re-rail
they're
these
doing a
unless there's no
experiment. I'm in
re-rail
a
fee.
scenario.
I'm gonna find out.
So I don't.
There is
have
re-rail
to-
fees. Okay, yeah, I have to reload. Crap! Okay, fine. How do I do that? I've loaded. When was I not derailed? Probably
It'll be
right
your most
there.
recent save for sure.
Okay. Well, and also,
Run
I mean,
the
this
Feels
is
good to be the pro.
look at the pro today. Kan's figuring it out. I tried to be too spicy, and then
Where is
I'm
Kan?
saying
Is
this
Kan?
now,
He's
though,
still
but I
looking
guarantee
at
I'm gonna finish
So-
sometime on this road.
it's fine.
Probably the
It's
same
fine.
place as Con at the moment.
I got my slug hooked into my D2.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this
So when I was
stopped
watching this
everything.
video,
Everything's all stopped right now.
Yeah,
I'd
absolutely.
already seen Con's
Okay.
strategy
100%
here, but
stop.
this is about as far as
Everything
I've
is
made
unhooked
video
but not stopped. But
before I
wanted
decided
some
to
gravity
play
to
along.
happen.
Alright, my slug's in my D2
To get
now.
up to
Never driven with a slug before.
Okay, I guess I have to.
Let
Oh,
off.
this is sick,
And I'm
dude.
just gonna
Dude, you just put it in
jam
notch
the
8,
brakes
it's
on.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't even get to full amps at all. It doesn't even come
Make sure this is
close.
ready.
Yeah, you literally just put it in notch 8. and
It's
forget
like
about it.
4 amps, and it just feels like I've got a brick now. I'm driving
It does
a brick.
suck fuel though. Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
Literally 300 amps of just hello power. Like
So,
how we're
What's squeaking?
For the play-by-play, so you understand what happened on my Encon, I had braked the slug a little bit because I was worried it was going to come off on the curve, and then it stopped on the switch, so it didn't.
Yeah,
it did
well,
not
I'm just
work
gonna
well.
grab
But
all the
then the
brakes.
cars behind it that I didn't brake came up behind it, and they derailed
So
on
I
the
don't
curve. So I was
absolutely
right.
destroy nuclear
They
engine.
didn't smash it. They came off the track and went into the drink. So that was hilarious. I can't find the bleed valves on this, so I'm recharging all this crap. I hate this.
I have a really long-nosed train right now.
Okay, and
Is where I'm at.
There's
let's hook this
Oh.
up.
This
Be
is
free,
like
my
this
child.
feels like an American muscle car, honestly.
Dude, it's so good. You just put it in 8, and it just goes. It's awesome.
Yeah, so Con's gonna have
Yeah, I
slightly
blew up
away
the traction motor on my D2.
as I am
Did
not.
with the slug?
I was going in reverse and I put it in notch 8 forward.
Oh yeah, don't do that. They don't like that. That's bad for the choo-choo.
Hey, let's
Choo-choo
go.
does not like that.
I don't have time to wait for me to charge, so let's just
Oh,
go.
I have no traction power.
How bad is the fire?
No, why was the coupler not hooked up?
I think I'll still be okay though. I don't think
So
I
what's
need to reload
squeaking?
for it.
You'll probably be fine. You still have 7 traction motors.
Yeah, I still got
If you actually blew one, you may not have actually blown it.
Well, it sparked on the D2.
Oh yeah. Well, when you restart it, sometimes they're actually fine.
It's hard to
Okay,
tell
that's-
if my brakes
No,
are
that's
squeaking
fine.
or if
I
Con's
guess I
hard
can
to
see
speak
the damage
squeaking when
sense,
I'm playing.
Oh, it says
freedom audio.
100%.
Yeah, you'll have to see if the traction motors
Let's
work.
get up to 40.
How do I check that?
If they're like sparky, glowy stuffs.
No.
Yeah, then you might be fine. Yeah. I don't know. I might have just KO'd mine. with how
Con's
spicy
still
that was.
coupling. Hyce is still coupling.
Derail Valley!
I'm up the hill.
I gotta go grab the rest of my train again. I haven't even gotten close to like putting my train back up. I'm just running around it now finally.
Oh my god, so you're
It's a
just
short
taking
bit of
your
20.
time switching like
This
ridiculously.
slug.
Well, I
is
picked,
just
like I
insane.
said, I picked the longest siding to switch
just
on,
look
and
at
I'm only
that
doing like
fuel
30 down the
sucking.
side. I'm not even doing 20 down the siding.
So
But yeah, I
just
picked the
look
longest
at
siding. The
it,
good news is
back
once got
much
nice.
because
This is now,
that
like, this
keeps
is
the amps
rolling.
high,
Good.
but it brings down the throttle a little bit.
So what's the limit?
I don't know if
on
that
the
actually
number
does
of
anything,
slugs,
but
though? Because at some point in time,
I feel like
the
it sucks
amperage
less fuel.
output from your motor on your DE2 or whatever isn't going to be
It's
enough
I think it's
power.
hard coded in game that you only get the 2, or only the 1.
Like only one slug.
Right.
In real life, though, it's all about like what?
I've heard of 2 being used before, but that's really uncommon. Yeah. Oh goodness, how fast are these tank cars going? Who knows? Who knows? I guess I don't need to pop the air. What I can do is I can tie a brake. If I can get to a brake.
What is Hyce doing?
All right.
He's rolling,
My nuclear
rolling
waste.
stock down a hill, unpowered.
Got the big American muscle car
Like an
train
idiot.
set up, you know, with the giant freaking hood.
Kan is
This
in
is
the
like the
passenger
Dodge
car.
Viper of train cars, you know?
Dude, it's rad.
I'm
Okay,
definitely
this stud did not break anything. That's great. We turned the brakes on. Okay. I swear to God, if I get going again faster after reloading and all of the shenanigans that I've been doing.
Were you Dutch dropping in is still or what?
Oh yeah, I did the same exact thing, but just from further down the hill. What
So I
are
don't
you
know how they
screaming
operate
about,
in
DE2?
fields. I feel like I'm
It's
gonna.
DE2, which doesn't like living.
Well, I mean, you do make a salient point
Alright, I'm
Let's just-
hooked up.
there. Okay.
Cooler.
Where are you at? Are you in the harbor yard somewhere?
Yeah, I'm in Dodge. Well, I'm in the passenger yard of the harbor.
Oh, okay.
What's the
Well,
problem with the
this might
slug?
actually-
It's very
I'm
slow,
gonna run faster.
especially
I'm gonna go to the slug.
Yeah, I'm good. I got my brakes pressurized. I'm full forward, notch 8, barely running 500 amps. The
I have
slug's
no
just
glass
pulling
left
this
in my
big
DE2. It's fine. Glass
no
is
what?
over. Glass.
Oh,
glass
glass
is broken.
Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't matter.
Oh, excuse me, that was
Although the
disgusting.
aerodynamics is going to make you win.
What is that? How that works?
Nice coat.
Yeah. The nice thing is with this route to the coal mine, there's only really, like, it's always turn right at every switch.
Oh, this is
There's
gonna
only
be.
3 switches.
This is fine. 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 It's fine. It's fine. Oh,
It's not fun, Hyce.
phew, that was almost chef's kiss. Actually, I thought I was about to dunk at like 50 mile an hour.
So quiet.
I stalled the DE2. How did I stall an electromechanical? Life's hard. Okay, it's fine.
The slug is so quiet. You don't even hear it. It's so
Okay, the
slow.
Hyce
Yeah,
is
it just makes traction more sense.
the Hyce. Hyce is I don't know, doing Hyce stuff, and Kan is leaving the harbour now.
Good.
Back together.
Pulling our alcohol and nuclear waste.
Road.
Are you past the switch out of the
Yeah,
harbor?
past the switch out of the harbor.
Okay, you're officially ahead of me.
Going 45-ish, 42-ish, up to 40.
I've got a devilish trick up my sleeve.
That was an advantage that Kan has.
So that-
He was going
that is.
fast.
Spawning another slug.
You know what? I'm
No.
gonna.
Picking
Not
up
gonna-
another.
I'm not gonna spawn anything. I'm not gonna pick up another one. I have one
Switching to
trick left
steam.
up my sleeve. Switching to steam.
He's traveling a lot faster than me because he had that run up.
Dude, this slug, it just pulls up the hill, doesn't care. I'm doing a constant 40, like, oh, it's losing a little bit of speed, 37,
Constant 40.
36.
I'm doing like 15.
Dude,
Slug
is
doesn't have
killer.
sand though, does it?
You know, I'm not sure. The Derail Valley slug, whether or not it has sand. It looks.
Have a sand patch on the
It
top.
looks like it's got sand pipes, sanders in front of the trucks in both directions.
Does it?
So I don't know. I think the real ones did.
I think I might have been going too slow. I might need to run up
with sand in though.
because I'm losing a lot of speed now.
Just tell them.
All right, so you guys in the railroad, I know we've talked about this before, but you guys use like a pure silica sand, right?
Yep.
No, it's all
Like
it.
it comes from.
But that fuel
Yep.
I'm worried
Comes
about.
from a quarry, crushed stuff, sand.
As pure as possible, and that's just not to clog your pipes.
Might
up
have
and
to
stuff.
cheat and,
Yeah, if it's got impurities and stuff in it, it might actually so I think it's had any breaks.
Let's just see if I can check the fuel one. So Kan is a little bit more than
The good news
me.
is I can
Hyce
just
probably has
it's
tons.
not shade,
So
and that's it.
I'm
Bad
actually-
news is
Hyce is only a tiny bit more than me.
That's fine.
2.3 degrees. 2.3%, sorry, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I got those
Sand
brakes on
down.
partially.
Oh no, we're picking up speed now, going into the tunnel. Okay, so the slug's doing good.
Okay. I'm underway. I'm in notch 8. I got all my brakes off. I've got great air conditioning. Love that. A little bit of an exhaust leak, but...
Actually, I gotta turn my fan off. I gotta save power to keep my slug going.
Is that how that works?
The extra hey man, technically speaking, that is how it works. It's like 0.1 amps or whatever to run
Gonna
the
do that
fan,
too.
2
I
amps
don't
to
think
run the
Derail
fan.
Valley.
So
That's amps, I'm not
you
gonna
know,
do this slug.
I wonder, on the big engines,
Okay.
they have an auxiliary generator or a companion alternator, depending on the type of locomotive, that takes care
so
of
now I
all
got a
the
bit of straight.
like, battery charging and little subsystems and stuff like that. So it's a
Right.
separate system, separate circuits from the loading circuits.
Does it pull, like it pulls diesel from the tanks and then uses it on its own?
No, it's usually a mechanically run off of the engine in some way.
So you're still losing power from the engine then when you run it.
I guess you're technically right, yeah, but
That's like turning off your air conditioner in your car to get more power.
But I don't know how much it affects you though, is the thing. Like, the engine's usually got enough huevos to run the alt for whatever load it needs, regardless. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know if it
interesting
makes a
because,
difference.
like, you know, we joke about it, but technically speaking, thermodynamics is actually true. If you have a closed system and you put only so much power into the system through fuel, then you can only pull that amount of power out of it. So if you're consuming that power for something else, technically, according to laws of thermodynamics and energy conservation.
Well, then we should turn off
you
the
know.
dash lights
Well,
and the cab
yes,
lights.
unless your locomotive engine is oversized and capable of supplying more
Right.
power than the alternator needs, in which case, yes, you're using more fuel for the same effort, but it's not affecting the loading,
Turn off
it's just making
Right,
the
you're
engine
still,
do more work.
yeah, exactly, 100%. If all the devices consuming the output are, let's say, like, you know, a couple thousand watts or whatever, or horsepower, then, you know, if your engine can produce more
So I think
than
I'll
that,
go
it's
the right
irrelevant.
way.
Right, it'll never, yeah. No, I agree.
I'm in
It's just
hardcore,
cool
so
how all
I
that
can't actually
math
see
works.
anything.
So
We've got to
anyway, long
switch to
story
the
short, I
right.
turned off my cabin fan to get
And the
more
right
horsepower
again,
out of my
and then-
system.
Right, that's because that is
I
the
debated
hold
on
mine
turning
around.
off the lights too, but it's only like a single bulb, so I feel like I'm okay.
I don't know if they simulated that or not. I don't
Imagine
know.
Derail Valley Ultimate Simulator Edition.
I'm gonna turn off the lights. I think
Turn off the
that's
lights.
the strat. That's the strat that Khan's not picking up on.
Yeah. there's a spot there where I bogged down to about 15 km/h with the slug, but it just kept pulling, so that's good.
That's what it does. This combo will pull the world. It really will.
Right.
Muy strong. God, they're such a cluster though. These setups, it's not just one MU cable because you have to send all of the actual traction motor leads
It's gonna run ahead of
across
set switch.
from the alternator, right? And those are heavy duty freaking DC conductors usually. At least on the stuff that actually ran slugs, I think were all DC. There are AC motored locomotives these days, but everything that I saw that had a slug was DC still. So you're talking about
so they're-
heavy duty
they're
DC cabling.
Yeah, so they're going to be big copper.
So hardcore.
Yeah, they're like 3 or 4 aught.
It's
Are they
giant copper
1,000
cables.
amps like Derail Valley shows, or like what's the amperage on that stuff?
So I'm just comparing what I've seen
think
on
it's
the
kinda straight up.
SD40 that we have at the museum, which the stuff that ran slugs, they were paired with SD40s, from what I can recall. The amperage would be less because of the slug, but the SD40 with 6 traction motors
Okay, this
is
is a lot
designed for
further
a
away
continuous
than I
load
thought.
limit of like 1,300 or 1,400 amps with
Yeah, you need a
burst
big- you need a big
Oh,
cable.
no.
burst
Look.
capability of up to like 15 or 1,600. I mean, ridiculous amounts of amps.
There it is.
As I'm preparing to get butchered by every electrical engineer in the comments, for those who don't know, amperage is like the current flowing through something, and voltage is the potential difference between 2 points.
Yes. Yeah,
So
that's my understanding
voltage
as well.
would be like pressure in a hose, and amperage would be the amount of water flowing through the hose.
And 1 amp will kill you, so, you know.
Not
It's
even.
fine.
It's like half an amp across your heart kills you, isn't it?
I think you're right. I think it's half an amp is guaranteed death.
Yeah, half
And
an amp
then
is
there's
It's like 25
potential of
milliamps,
death
so
down to like
0.025.
milliamps of some amount.
Yeah, so like when I did paint
Across
robots
your
and
heart.
stuff, we sprayed with high voltage to create static electricity so the paint would stick to the car. So you ground the car, which means the car has 0 volts, and the paint we would give it 60,000 volts
That is.
at 0.001 microamps. So it's like
Hey, it is. Hold on.
It's like a tiny amount of amperage.
50.
So it's not a whole lot of wattage because power is amps times
So, but the
volt,
fuels of the
but
orange.
it creates this massive difference in potential energy between the paint that you're spraying and the part itself. So you end up seeing the paint float through the air and actually like move and wrap down to the part like a really powerful static balloon. And that's
We'll get up to
information goes
60.
into even coat because as the paint layer builds up in thickness, the resistance increases, which means the paint wraps in different areas. So it always guarantees a smooth coat no matter how you paint it.
Dude, that's so freaking cool. Like,
Smart, right?
yeah, super smart, super easy to get great
Yeah.
results that way.
Right. So like we still have to program the robots to
Right.
cover all areas of the car and all areas of the car, but we don't have to be like nitpicky about overlap like to an extent. Like we have to have a little bit of overlap between paths, but at the end of the day, as the resistance to the paint increases,
Yeah, let's get
also
it
the
to
sparkle
70.
in your car paint is little flakes of aluminum, and the voltage causes the aluminum to stand up, which is what makes it sparkle. If it was like
Interesting.
sprayed normally, it would be flat and it would be dull, but because it's standing up, it makes it sparkle.
that's super cool.
It only works because you spray with really high voltage. That's why if you try and like spray in your garage or something and you try and get the same results that like, a professional paint shop does, you're never going to do it because you have to spray with a high voltage to get that static effect. Ground your part and spray with voltage. The problem is if your part's not grounded,
Okay, so we're about to
60,000
contemplate
volts
this track.
sparks. And if 60,000
Spatter,
volts
splatter,
sparks,
yeah.
well, we've had it happen so it became the paint robot became a
Just gonna
flamethrower.
go back a little
where
bit.
It sparked,
Oh.
lit all the paint
Oh.
on fire,
Because I think everyone
and then started spewing fire onto the part, so the part got caught on fire. But then the paint robot, at the end of each stroke, turns off the paint, so then the flame went off on the robot, and then it came back on with like fresh, wet paint and
just
put out
across
the
the
fire.
bridge.
That's
Great.
crazy.
It's just, you're like,
Yeah, it's
oh
across
my
the bridge
god,
and
that's a
stuff.
lot of fire. And then it goes, and, oh, no fire. And then, oh, went out the fire. Okay, we're good. That part's wrecked.
I only ever got to see high potential, crazy voltage stuff once at the railroad.
Oh, I just crossed the bridge, so it's not crossed that bridge.
Sometimes there's an electrical defect in the engine that you can't trace,
gonna
or in the
kill
locomotive you
power.
can't trace. Trying to figure out one of the many systems. There's
Feel like I'm going
positive
too
ground,
fast.
negative ground,
I am.
low voltage systems, then there's the high voltage system. There's a ton of different electrical stuff going on in a locomotive. And sometimes you couldn't trace it, you couldn't detect it, and so you back flush it by doing a high pot test where you take the car body of the locomotive, which is normally your ground,
Yeah, well, could
and
we
you pump
kind
it up
of
to something like 1,000,000 volts
factory?
and find what smokes.
Okay,
And
so
that's
just
where
don't
that's where
want
the
it
ground
sorry.
is, and that's
that's
the
not-
ultimate
that's-
troubleshooting test.
That's not a great solution.
That's why I only saw it once. That's the last
When you're
resort.
dealing with stuff that's flammable, like, like
Well,
it's-
you're not talking about arcing it across the fuel tank.
like we accidentally, had a flamethrower. We didn't intentionally create a flamethrower, like it's
That's fine.
very different.
Khan's crossing the bridge just before the tunnel,
In my next band. There you
before
go.
the
Yeah,
switch.
100%.
So he's a
Oh, we
little
had
bit
some
behind
funny
me,
stuff
but he
in
is
automotive.
catching
It was
up.
great. I love working in big factories just because to me it wasn't about whatever
let's get
product
it
you're building. I didn't care about the product you're building. It's cool, you're making car parts, whatever. But like the way you make them is so much cooler than how they're than what they are.
Yeah, the
Khan's running with the
processes
slug
that
out the
go
front.
into
I don't know if that's
details.
better.
Yeah,
than
It's so
and that was
cool.
my
I'm
whole
running
job. I
now.
was
Okay.
like essentially I had different names.
Oh, no, no.
Like
That's
different
okay.
titles through it, but essentially every job I worked in, I was a process engineer. I would always deal with like how do you improve
So
the
I'm
process,
gonna
fix the
risk it a
process,
bit
make the process
for
work
speeds for now.
better, and yeah, it was always just a fun time dealing with hilarious situations where robots do stupid things they're not supposed to.
I can only imagine. I've seen
we had
the
a program one time because robots have like paint lines. Like
So it's
there's
40,
a couple
but
different
I'm gonna
kinds
go
of
50.
paint robots that I work with. There's like really two. One is canister load and one is non-canister load, right? Canister load is exactly that. It's got a big canister on the robot arm,
let's
canister
go.
with a big piston
Power
back.
on.
Like a caulking gun, like like a cock gun, right?
Right.
It's essentially like that. That's a canister load.
So,
And what it does is it fills up the canister with whatever paint color you want. It first blasts it out with solvent, and then it fills it with whatever color you want. And they calculate based on like previous paint pads and stuff.
60?
It knows how much color it needs, right? So it'll fill it with, let's say, like 80 cc's. Right?
Con has more fuel.
Paint, whatever the heck it needs, right? And then it'll blast that
Hyce
out.
has
And whatever's
what?
left, it'll blast into like a dump valve, like a dump
Hyce
drain,
is further back,
blast the
so
rest
Hyce is going to run out of fuel.
canister, empty it, spray
Con
it
has
with
more fuel.
solvent, put it in a canister, color it, done, problem solved, right? So you waste a little bit of paint, but that's a
It's
canister.
only one
And
tunnel
the other type of
behind.
system is like the lines, where you have literally tons of different lines going to the robot. But with those, the line system, you still need, you still only have one line for the robot arm itself.
We need
You've got what's called a valve
keep it
block
up.
right before the robot that has all the different colors. So you still have to purge that one line, which would be like the valve block of the robot.
Gotcha.
Colors, and it can spray, like, you can spray that continuously. It doesn't have to come back and reload the canister everywhere, it just sprays forever, right? But you still have one line in the robot arm. The advantage of a canister load, you don't have to worry about the fact that you have one line in the robot arm, right? Now robots, this is where the story gets fun. I love, this is one of those like 50 different systems come together and you forget how they work. So robots have this weird thing where they always try and find the shortest way to get from point A to point B. And when you
Yeah, let's
program
go
a
put
robot,
a,
you're essentially giving it like its coordinates. You're saying, I want you to be an X, Y, Z with rotations RX, RY, RZ, right? And that's where I want you to be. And then I want you to take X amount of time to go from point A to point B to point B to point C, and so on and so forth, right?
Let's light it up here.
And robots will kind of interpolate that a little bit. So you can program them, they won't have to go exactly to the point you tell them to go to. They can just kind of create an arc between the points that you give them, right?
Yeah, but it smooths out the motion, right?
Right. So sometimes they try to figure it out. So you have a program that would rotate 180 degrees, and then because of momentum and motors and stuff, the robot would kind of rotate a little bit fast. So the fastest position to get back was now to continue the rotation in the same direction and not rotate back the way it
Be
came,
safe.
right?
Right.
So you run that program 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. All of a sudden, that line inside the robot is twisted up.
Not that it's needed this time.
Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to
I actually don't know when it's going to be night.
and like in the same direction. What
I guess I
happens?
could look at my watch.
So they don't have a like any sort of like swivel connection to allow
No,
for
no,
continuous
God, no,
rotation.
no, no.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's like a syringe tube. Almost.
This is just
Again,
sucking the
PSI
fuel.
paint.
Oh yeah, I guess
Anyway,
you couldn't really. You probably
Yeah.
could, but it would be very expensive and kind of pointless. Gotcha.
Yeah, so long story short, that, you had a robot that all of a sudden were like, hey,
Okay, so
it's
they're
not
all
spraying paint. Hey,
well
why is there
behind me.
paint coming out of the joints in the robot
Hyce
arm?
is at the switch.
Oh.
The last switch.
It's
like,
wrapped
oh.
itself up, and the line
It is
went.
wrapped up. Yeah, that's great. So then we had to write a program in that would basically, the robot remember which way it rotated, and it would force it to rotate back in the opposite direction, just to like, like, hey man,
It's
don't
like
be stupid.
parasocial
You went to the right, go
multiplayer.
back to the left,
Right.
Go slightly longer.
I just don't know if it's
That's
going to pick it
funny.
up until
But,
after.
yeah.
Robots are great, man. They're the
They
best.
do exactly what you tell them to do. And sometimes that's a problem.
They're very stupid. It's hilarious.
So, Kan, where are you at on the railroad here, my friend?
About past the goods factory.
Okay, you're still ahead of me. How fast are you
I'm
going?
giving it full beans right now. I was kind of coasting for a bit there because it was a downhill. I didn't want to pick up too much speed. Now I'm on an uphill. I'm doing about 60. Coming up to the goods factory.
Yeah, I don't even know if we're going to make
I'm
it up
trying
here.
not to derail because derail is game over for me.
That is what would be super game over for sure.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to, like, the speed limits here are mostly 80. There's a few 60s. I've been making sure I'm always under the speed limit. How fast can a slug actually pull?
It has a lesser top speed because you're reducing the total amperage that the motors can make. So I think it is slower. I'm not sure exactly how much slower it is.
I feel like
But it-
I'm doing
but it is
55
slower.
right now, and it doesn't seem like I'm accelerating any, and I'm at full beans.
I think that might be the cap.
Anyway, yeah, just like your poop stories on BNSF, I have a lot of stories about automotive.
You've
I
got
have a
paint
lot
stories.
I worked in paint mostly, paint robots.
So Kan is
Butter,
passing
I've worked in
the
stamping
goods
too,
factory
welding robots as well. I did a lot of
at
stuff.
a million miles an hour.
Stamping like big metal presses and stuff, right?
The scary fun stuff, yeah.
It's cool. They're so big. Like So like the biggest press I ever saw was 230,000 pounds per half of the die.
But he's catching up
Each
on
die
us
is
quick.
460,000 pounds.
So this way we want to
like
go
7
right.
dies in a row that all moved up and down at the same
let's go
time.
down this way.
So like, yeah,
That's
talking 1.4 million pounds moving up and dropping and it would do it once every like 50 seconds. So you just have this boom,
Jump.
boom, and like
This feels like a long 300 meters.
Like it's stuff.
that must have been insanity, dude.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's just insane. And it's cool because it's like,
The
well,
switch
that's
is-
just they
is the
load
hardy
these
one?
things
No.
with rails. So they have these big rail
Switch is
systems.
good.
And so what happens is the dies come down from the press onto this massive rail, and then it gets slid out, and then the other die is put onto the other rail, and it gets brought in, and then they have these massive overhead cranes that carry, you know, like big bay cranes, right? I'm
Right.
sure you guys had them in the train shop, like massive, you know, 500,000 pound capacity cranes, right?
I wish
And
we
they
had
would
one.
lift
Yeah,
the
as the
whole
train-
die up and move it onto these rails and then back to these storage bays. Apparently the concrete in that bay was like 16 feet thick, is what they told me.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's so funny. The shop that I worked at, I just recently found out that it's closing for good in about a week, which breaks my heart, but
The one
that's the way it goes. Up in Seattle, the Inner Bay Diesel
Seattle,
Shop, 1929 Roundhouse, and December 1st will be its final day, which is...
Are they still keeping
It's
like, the
tripping
shuttles and
along.
stuff, or is the whole yard?
Oh, the yard's staying there for sure, but they've outsourced all the maintenance to different shops, and that's that. So, bummer, but that's the way it goes. I mean, honestly, it was kind of a bad location for the way the railroad built out, so I understand why they're getting rid of it, but it makes me sad. But
Okay, so the next
back
thing.
shop was built by the Great Northern, the original owner, right?
So I'm gonna
BNSF,
work out
formed
which way
out
the
of
next
many
switch is
different
going, 'cause
railroads,
I don't know if we're
Great
going
Northern
coal
being one of
mines
them.
coal
And
mine or
they had this huge
iron ore.
bridge crane put in,
So
and
I'm
it's
just trying to figure out
supported
which way
by
they said.
the brick wall
I'll be
foundation
right
on
back.
one side, and then on the other side it's supported by a bunch of riveted iron trusses. And it was
Right.
like a 40 or 50 ton bridge crane. And it got derated to 7.5 tons because the civil loading couldn't take it.
Wow.
Just like the old structure. And the railroad used it for a long time as a 50-ton crane.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Okay.
it's
I don't know how to
compressed,
figure it
of
out,
course, it's
so we're just
It's
gonna
fine.
guess.
It'll be
Compression
fine.
is,
That
you know,
it
compression is
is
strong. Everything's strong when you try and crush it.
Right, exactly.
It's just not strong when you try and pull it apart. Yeah, it was
Just
funny.
go
They
back.
had so these big dies. They would lift dies with big Kevlar straps. Every die had these 4. They looked like boat anchor, not boat anchor. You know, boat. What are those things called? The davits or whatever on a boat. The big round things you see on the harbors. You know.
That they the
No, I
ropes
never- I
go
really
around?
need to
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are called
back
either.
to
I'm
the
not
video.
very nautically
I'm
inclined.
gonna keep con.
Yeah, anyway, every die had
YouTube
4
video
of those
going
on it,
in.
right? One on each corner.
The,
Oh, wow.
so I'm not
These big
losing
Kevlar
time, but
straps.
I'm
Like
gonna
I'm
go back
talking
into the
like
Hyce
4-inch
video.
diameter
Start.
Kevlar straps that
I'm
would go
gonna
into the crane.
sync it back
And that's
up.
how they would lift
Okay.
it. They would use chains slip. Kevlar is nice.
The amperage. So, Con, today's race is yep.
There's a
This
rust
is, it
in it.
says above the door. This is within
Brick of
really what it is. Out of my almost for your locomotive. The one that went all the way up to the coal mine. So we got our little meter. It'll just pull the universe because you're distributing the
42.
current from.
swear to God, without my boss even blinking an eye, he just looks at me and he says, "Oh, that's so they can see where the guy was lifting the dies." Wore hard hats. The guys with the crane operator. When they were moving a die, when they had a die up on a crane, they had a huge.
The videos are slightly
Not
out of sync
allowed
for
to
me,
get
but
anywhere
the audio
close
is
to them
fine.
at all. Nowhere close to the die. Like, because
Anyway,
even
we're
if
going
it drops,
to,
the amount of force
we're
that
going
it's dropping on the
to
ground from like 6 feet
iron
up or 10
ore
feet up or whatever is
mines.
insane. Like they would stack dies on top of each other to store them because you can easily do
I am
that.
gonna run out of fuel.
So you'd have the, like if you drop the die from 10 feet up, like it's just, you know, you're dropping even a small die
What's
that weighs
their
60
fuel like?
70,000
Con
pounds. It's
is
still a lot of force to drop.
They're
Right?
orange.
Right. So the hard hat's
They're
gonna
both
save
in
them.
low
right?
orange.
Right, so they would wear hard hats, and I remember like one of my
pretty
first
well.
days there, my boss takes me out and he shows me these guys moving the die, and I'm like, this is awesome, right? He's like, you gotta stand like 100 feet back, whatever. And I'm like, great.
Their
And I'm like,
daytime is a lot more
I
bright.
asked my boss, I
They
said,
must
why
have
are
it
they wearing
set.
hard hats? Like, surely they know that the hard hat's not going to do anything. And I swear to God, without my boss even blinking an eye, he just looks at me and he says, "Oh, that's so they can see where the guy was standing when the die fell and hit him on the head, because the hard hat will leave a circle on the floor."
Oh my god.
Like, are you serious? Like,
Yikes.
They're like, okay, great,
Okay.
thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Con, I hate to interrupt your automotive stories, but I had a blip on my dash and a sound, and I looked and I saw a gauge come on that I hadn't seen before. I'm almost out of fuel. How are you doing?
I'm at the red line for fuel, but I'm above the red still.
Okay, I'm below the red. I must have used more than you somehow.
I'm just crossing through the switch north of the goods factory now.
Okay, I'm just behind you. Goodness.
I'm at full reg, full 100%. This is a hill
That's
climb.
pretty
Like,
rad.
Dude, this is quite the climb, yeah.
I'm only doing like 20. Oh, now I'm picking up speed again. 25.
So-
did you coast at all though? Have you been? See,
No.
I coasted for a big station.
I hardly did not coast, and I'll now let you in on my trick, because you asked about the slug having a lower top speed. When it was flat, I disconnected the slug, and I was doing 72 the whole time. And so my engine was running full speed, so I was using more
thought Hyce
fuel,
would
which is
do
why
that. I
I'm
wasn't
in the
gonna risk
predicament
it.
that I'm in. But I think I'm going to have enough to make
What he
it to the
means
switch
is,
to the coal mine, and then it's all downhill from there, literally. So it's going to become a game of who breaks the latest down the hill.
Coal mine's a pretty smooth hill too.
It is, so
I love
I'm
how
coming
we've
up to
just
the
been
switch now.
we've just been sort of having this podcast this entire time because the slug is really just to like put it in full gear. And
Right,
drive
literally.
itself.
It's a return to form. The podcast is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we're just podcasting the stories.
We're at 100. There's nothing else we could do other than tell stories because the gameplay is so riveting at the moment.
Yeah, the gameplay is not. I mean, this is real life railroading. I feel like we would have fun if we were railroading together.
Absolutely, dude. For real.
I would
We
just
gotta
chill.
come play trains. Come on. For real.
Yeah, man. Or, yeah.
So that's got to switch.
You gotta show me how to get a coal shovel sucked into a fire.
You try not to do that. But
Yeah, well, you know.
it's happened, and it will happen again, I'm sure. I've never seen it happen in person myself.
What happens
but
to the rest of the shovel? Like, the metal doesn't melt, does it? Because the steel could be that hot in the fire.
You sure about that?
Your fires get hot enough to melt steel, like, actually.
That is why you have to keep the ground sheet covered with water. Because the fire is hot enough to actually melt
Jesus,
the
slows down.
firebox.
But we're gonna make it.
That's nuts.
They
If I don't
burn
run
it
out of fuel.
close to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit under crazy draft. I mean, at the
So then what,
museum,
you
we're
end
not
up-
working
you end up
that
having,
hard.
like,
But
a molten mess of steel shovel on the bottom of your...
yeah, they're
oh,
pretty thin. I'd bet that you'd melt and warp. It would work first. It'd take a while to melt, but I bet you'd melt the actual shovel. But usually what happens
So I'm gonna
is
run out
they
of
get
fuel.
sucked
There's
in,
no way
and you
I'm
can
making
fish them out with the rake before they get to that point. And
Right.
before even the wood goes up. I mean, obviously, if you were working like ridiculous tonnage and you threw it in and lost it, okay, well that's one thing. But
I heard they used to...
So they're not
used to
doing much
railroad
better. Hyce is
into,
doing
a
worse.
bathroom in a shovel and then just put it in the fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I've
gonna
heard
leave
that
it
if you
on.
had a number 2, because
Go
I mean, you don't really have much
to,
other option. The number 1, I mean, you just go over the side
Switch
as
the
you do.
switch.
Yeah.
So.
And we'll hear it.
That
We're
is
out of
very
fuel, probably.
unfortunate for the person who just happens to be watching trains one day.
It's just, oh, okay, all right, they're just doing that. That's fine. Yeah.
It just gets it, you know.
Speaking of it, so I didn't know this. I got the caboose in my last career episode. The caboose has a Turkish toilet in it.
I don't know what that means.
It is a toilet where it's a hole in the ground with places for your feet so you can squat over the hole.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Weren't those like outlawed in stations and stuff? Because like, you know.
Well, yeah, but you weren't supposed to use the toilet while in the station in a caboose or in a passenger car, because back in the day it just dropped down on the track before, you know, sanitation tanks and things and sucker trucks and all that fun. So
That would still suck. Like even if you didn't use it in a station, you just have like random crap on the track.
literally, yeah, you gotta shudder to think of what MOW
Oh,
had
it
to
has
deal
ran out
with.
of fuel.
Why is the bell? Oh, someone ate Taco Bell before they went on the train.
Yeah.
So
Hey man, it seems like trains have been getting a lot of wheel slip coming out of the station. Oh really? Weird. Let's go take
I'm
a look.
probably
oh,
done
the track
then.
is.
I ran out of fuel.
Oh
It's
no.
it's a poo-poo track, literally.
Oh no.
Con,
I
I
I'm gonna
don't-
don't
change that
They
one
did.
tie over there. Okay. How much poop is on the tie? All of it.
all of the poop.
Are you clear of the coal mine switch yet?
No, I'm getting close.
How's your fuel? Mine's in the red now.
Mine is flashing right now. It's like maybe a 1/6 or an 1/8 of the red left. Like it's
I have
getting close
actually,
to
like,
bingo.
Yeah, I'm just under a quarter tank is where I'm at, which is in the red, but I'm not. And I'm just clearing the switch now. Going to the
I don't think the brake's
I'm
going to
just-
hold it.
I'm
but
so close.
this is where I got to.
Is it gonna make it under power? Like, do I dare back down and lose some speed, but slow the engine down to use less fuel, or do I just keep it full pegged?
So I don't
It's so
think I'm going to
close.
make it. If Kan makes
Well,
it, Hyce is not
problem you
making
have
it.
is that a save is not going to fix
Con-
the problem.
Yeah,
Possibly
precisely.
making
I think if I run out of fuel and I don't coast past the switch, I think I'm hosed.
Yeah, unless you spot another DE2 to pull yourself up.
Right. I can see the switch. It's lined over.
Or can you fill your fuel? Is there a fuel
On the
repair?
comms radio? I don't think
Yeah.
so, no.
All right, I'm clear of the switch. I'm at the part where it says that we're on level track, and I'm heading down.
God, I'm
I know I
slowing
still
down
have
just
to go
anyway.
quick here though, because if I go slow,
Oh.
all of a sudden Hyce is gonna come flying past me at like 100 down this freaking hill.
They're going to
Right.
the coal mine.
How many
I
times
like
do you
the
run
iron
this
ore.
hill? What's the speed limit? You know?
Downhill?
That was a mistake.
I actually don't know the speed limit's downhill on the coal mine hill.
I
I usually
would've
leave
made it.
out of it. I don't think I've ever actually run to the coal mine, so we're on
Okay.
even footing
Yeah, it
here.
would only be a
Oh no!
call.
I'm out of fuel. I'm out of fuel. It's coasting.
Okay, well,
It's
I'm gonna
coasting,
cheat.
and I'm at the switch,
Replace
and it's
my
still a
DE2.
1% grade. Okay, I'm not throwing in the towel yet. Kan, do I spawn a DE2, or do I spawn an SO60? Your choice.
If you can spot a DE2 to give yourself fuel and pull yourself, you still gotta hook it to get it hooked up. But
Okay.
I think I've won this race no matter what you do.
Unless I give it just all
Con
the
one,
beans down the
because
hill.
I went the wrong
somehow.
way.
Yeah, because even if you reload, you're at 0 momentum, so you just burn all your fuel trying to get any sort of speed.
Oh, Jesus.
No, dude, this picks up quick down this hill.
I bet. Okay, I've spawned the next one, and I got blessed with another SDNS skin.
Alright, nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm just trying to chill down this hill. I got my engine off again. See, I conserved fuel in that mid part. I didn't even do it intentionally, and look at how much that helped me.
It turned out that was a big
That was
part of
just-
the equation here.
Yeah, apparently, when you had the chance to coast, just coast.
Yeah, because
Get some
literally
lights
at the
on.
switch, I ran out. Oh my god. All right, full beans. Come on, come on, come on.
Well,
come
I
on,
would
come
have
on,
won
go.
if I went the right way.
So
Put a
I have to be,
on it.
I have to be recklessly stupid down this hill.
I have to be really
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing
surprised.
50 right now,
So
so
I'm going to...
I'm gonna have to do speed limit plus, and it's gonna end in fireworks, or I'm gonna somehow win. That's how this is going. Can I clutch victory from the jaws of defeat, or will Kan clutch defeat from the jaws of victory?
I feel like the smart thing was switching into the harbor initially. And, you know, I think that was the play.
That
Right?
was for
Those-
sure the first correct play you made.
Yeah, if you had done the same thing and then also disconnected your DE2 from the multi-unit disconnect, that's really smart on straights. I should have done that.
Yeah, but that's what killed my fuel, though, is the thing. It was faster, but it did run out of fuel. So.
True.
Okay, well, the speed limit says I can do 60, and I'm
Switch.
doing 23. So, come on, speed, power, beans.
Switch.
I'm gonna unhook
Oh my God,
the.
I just like my heart just exploded there for a second. I felt
Did
like
you
I had a
almost
heart
come off?
Oh, dude, I hit a corner like at speed, and I was like, this corner looks fine. I don't know what the speed limit is, and it just started grinding. Like I
The
cranked
spicy
brake.
derail sounds.
No,
Yeah.
it was brutal. I mean, it says it's 60 here.
All right, I am now popping the MU cable, and I'm just gonna overload these traction motors for
I
all of
see
the
the
speed in the
ball.
world. 1,000 amps.
I see the coal mine switches.
So I'm going to do that too,
Speed and power, baby.
I don't
once
know
I
which
get
one
past
I'm
that
doing.
switch.
I'm gonna press brake.
It's smoking now.
I feel like this might be my first victory.
What's
It-
going
it-
wrong? Why am I...
I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, I pressed
Pretty
the
sure
lead
it
Not
is.
a real mission, though.
All right, 80, and it's 1.8 downhill. All right. Just coax some more speed out of these sails. Come on.
I gotta find myself an empty lane to park this thing in.
Where we're going, we
Right,
don't need traction motors.
Entering the yard.
This is so slow to
Okay,
get.
I think Kan has officially won this.
I haven't found a lane yet.
I'm still on the
So,
hill. I'm
there's
in
no
notch
way.
8 going downhill, or actually notch 11. I am full send downhill, just the DE2. My traction motors are still super hot. I'm doing 70.
No way.
I'm doing more than 70.
I have like 1/8 of a tank of fuel left. Amazing.
When
I
get
don't
to the
think I'm.
downhill
You know,
part, I'll
I
come
think
back.
you're gonna park and stop and win, and I think I'm just gonna see where this comes off and how fast and enjoy it. I think that's what's happening on my end.
There's a corner.
That was
there's
my
a
plan,
corner
nice.
right before the coal mine that.
I'm officially in free cam, watching the train go. Just absolute full send.
How large the slug is. It's kind of ridiculous.
It's a DE6.
Can I
cut
show
down.
this
Okay, there we go.
flying,
We're off. We're off.
All right.
There it goes. And the
Full
boys. There it is.
Full break. There we go. Victory is mine.
Congratulations, sir.
Let's crush
You
this
won
boy.
this time.
We'll get him next time. All right,
luck
I'm
to
gonna
you.
put it in notch 8, turn off my brake, and see what happens.
So that's flat.
you go.
So let's...
Yeah. Boys are now going off one by one.
Oh, there's just a stop.
Oh, no. Oh.
There we go. I was thinking that the other one wasn't going to go, and now finally, I'm the one that nuked the hillside.
Faster! This slug, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably great for shunting. It does not accelerate.
No, it slows you down quite considerably in terms of acceleration. But apparently the D6 is pretty good. I still haven't tried it that way. So
Alright, here we go. Speed. I love how the game could be the autosave right as I'm driving full speed towards this barrier. It's like it knows.
You're doing something stupid.
This full speed is pretty terrible too, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we're gonna hit the end of track.
Oh.
Okay, we shoved that right off the end of track. The slug went off. We went off.
I blew the
Okay,
traction
the slug is going down the
well.
hill. It's dragging us with it. My train is surprisingly still intact.
Oh, my
Wow.
locomotive just blew up.
Now
That's fun. I always forget that the locomotives can blow up. The diesel engines can blow up too.
wow, that was the saddest derail of my life, dude.
Was it?
Yeah, I went down into the mine pit a little bit, and it's just
Guys, so this
very
isn't
unsatisfying.
pulling anything.
It doesn't matter though. I won. So get out of here. Oh
Just
my
hook
god.
up
You
the fake
did.
traction.
Con won, guys. And it was genuine. There was not. It was even circumstances and everything. There wasn't even a handicap. You just made smart decisions, and I was Hyce.
But to be fair, we weren't running steam.
That is true.
So,
that is true.
You know,
But,
I gotta win a steam race to feel really satisfied here. Winning these diesel races, you know, it's you just kinda pull
I'm
the
just gonna
throttle
let
out,
it go.
Good to go and make some smart decisions. But the steam race, that's what I'm looking forward to. So yeah.
I'm gonna
Good
sit on the
to have
back here.
Yep,
I
we're
wanna
gonna have
see
to
what
do another
this
steamer
light
one.
looks like.
Thanks so
Yep.
much for
Oh, well,
watching,
it's actually
everybody.
pretty
We will
good.
catch you all next time.
See ya.
Okay. Well, the getting confused between the iron ore and the coal mine was a mistake. Running out of fuel was a mistake. Although I would have not run out of fuel. I would have been able to coast down this track, I'm pretty sure. But I lost. So I am the biggest. Which frustrates me because I'm always like, oh, Kan is not very good at this game. Because he's always doing weird things that don't make any sense. The horror game. And then, yeah, I do worse things. So. Do you only get one lap? Use touch until we go off. Probably going to go off at the same point that Hyce went off. Only running. I wonder if I can put this like down here. It's better up here. So Hyce I think came off here actually. So oh no, he came up. he came off here, which is where I'm going. Yep. Whoa, from the back. It's a nice view. Oh, the smoke dims the flashlight. Fireworks, that's what I meant for something. I got enough lighting. I don't think my loco's going to catch on fire though. The nuclear is surrounded by fire, which is always fun. How did these not catch on fire? Can you burn with this gun? I don't know. It's leaking. There's a chance it will catch on fire. Or explode. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's blowing out there. Wow. I'm dead. I wonder if this one's leaking. So that one's not leaking. So the vehicle is going down there. Maybe we have a good fire on the other two as well. Let's see if we can find a good spot. Stand by the tree. Just watch these explode. Hmm.